Welcome back to another Word with Brenden. We have Brenden here from Martin Guitar, and today we're going to talk about custom shop Martin guitars, where you can get one, why you might want one, what that process looks like. We're both holding customs. And custom builds, for me, is one of the coolest parts of working here. I love working with customers to build custom guitars. I don't actually build them. Spoiler alert, Martin does the building. But I help you kind of figure out what you want and help you spec it out and all that kind of stuff. We've built these for our shop, and we'll tell you a little bit about some of those. But it's a great experience. I love getting to work with people, and it's always just such a joy, and it's such a cool part of being a Martin dealer. The custom shop is really a place where magic happens. So I was excited to have Brenden here to talk a little bit about that, and we'll get into how you would do that in a minute. But first and foremost, let's ask the big question. Why would somebody want a custom shop Martin over, say, a standard series Martin?
Well, I'm holding one that I think helps to answer that question. Look at the wood on this thing. This is amazing. So, Robbie, you've essentially built a 41 here.
Yep.
But you've done some things to it. So if you can see the difference in grain, this has a little bit of sapwood. It's dark sapwood, but It's beautiful. We have a little bit of sap on the back and on the sides.
Yeah, this is we started with a regular D41 with this, and it does have some changes. So it's got wood binding on it. It has liquid metal pins. It has wood fiber inlays, and it's got the Golden Era style logo on it. But man, it just is a stunner. And in person, the flame in this wood, and it's just a fantastic, beautiful guitar, and it weighs almost nothing. It has a VTS top on it, which is really cool. And I'm holding here. This is a pretty neat guitar too. So this is a 0028 VS Golden Era, which is a guitar that Martin used to produce that they don't. It's a dormant model. We ordered this one with a cutaway, but it has all of those Golden Era specs. So pretty cool. It's got the bigger V neck on it for those of you who like that kind of chunkier, bigger V neck. 12 fret with a cutaway is a really great option. It's just a little more unusual. It's really comfortable to play. Classic pyramid bridge. And where these were built off of regular specs, you don't have to. You could pick any spec you want. Another one that I wanted to highlight is this one. This is a custom 000, and this is essentially a Clapton model, but without Eric's name on it. Mm-hmm. So if you're one of those people that really likes the Clapton model, but maybe you feel a little funny about playing somebody's signature guitar, Custom Shop has an answer for you in stuff like this. And when you look at the tags, it will say inspired by D41 or whatever the base model is, but custom shops really have no models, right?
Correct.
They're just independent, one-of-a-kind, beautiful creations. And you can work with your local Martin dealer, like us, and we can help commission the guitar of your dreams for you, or for someone else if you're a very giving soul. But it's a great experience, and it's if you've ever been to the factory, the custom shop is in the factory, but it kind of is off on its own.
It's off on its own, but there's some news coming, so we'll talk about that in a subsequent video.
You didn't hear that from us, but it's really cool. You can get, you can take a standard model like a D28, say, and if you're just not happy with the typical performance neck, you can make one subtle change, like maybe putting your favorite neck profile on the guitar, or changing a tone wood, like this D41, which is normally only offered in the standard line in East Indian rosewood. We ordered this one with beautiful Guatemalan rosewood on that. So you can get tone wood upgrades. This, like I said, this has a VTS top on it. This particular 000 here has some configurations that you just don't find in a standard offering. And a custom shop is a great place for that. It doesn't mean that you have to have a beautiful ornate guitar that you have to take a second mortgage on your house for. It could just be a subtle change that makes something more agreeable to you, the buyer, like the non-Clapton Clapton.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it, because the reality is that we do build some guitars that are upwards of $300,000-$400,000 in the custom shop. Phenomenal things that are hard to even imagine.
Yeah.
But the crux of what we do are like this. They're the models that are very simple, and somebody just wanted to change what the wood was, the species or the style of the wood.
Yeah, absolutely.
And do something simple.
Pardon my reach. This is another example of that, where this is an HD 28. It's basically a golden era, but we added a bound neck, just to kind of harken back to those Clarence White, Tony Rice guys that want a 28 with a bound neck. It kind of dresses it up a little bit, but it wasn't an extravagant change.
Yeah.
It's just something to set it aside a little bit and make a really cool guitar. And we always have a handful of custom shop guitars that we built just for sale in the shop here. We probably have 8 or 10 right now on hand, including a beautiful D45 that we don't have on the floor right now, and an OM 45 Golden Era that's here. We have a couple regular D28s. We have this HD 28. So there's a few offerings, but we also love to work with people and do custom builds. And I've probably done, I don't know, maybe a dozen or so in my time here for specifically for customers.
Yeah.
And it's always such a wonderful experience. So if you're thinking about that, we can talk and we can spec something out and get it quoted, and it doesn't cost you anything. So I mean, if you just want to ask the questions and find out maybe what it would be like to open that door, we can get you there, and it won't cost you a dime.
That's one of the great things about working with Hubert Breeze
Yeah.
and talking to Robbie or somebody here about one of these customs is you may be thinking about one, you may be looking at this video, and maybe you did a configurator on the Martin website, but you're still hesitant about the idea of putting a deposit on something that you can't see and feel. That's where you come in.
Yeah.
Because Robbie, he's showing you a lot of guitars that he's built, and he's mentioning some names, and I did this because of this artist, but I changed it a little bit. He's doing that because he knows generally what those things are going to sound like. So if you're a little uncomfortable and thinking, not sure where to complete this thing, or if this spec or this spec works, start with Robbie. He's going to help you navigate that. And then a custom, after you design it, Robbie, or you and the customer design it, comes to us at the custom shop, and there's a team of people from each part of the custom shop who does a different functional area, and they review all of the quotes. So we want to, when we're building customs, we want to protect ourselves, and we want you to have the best guitar. So we're not going to let you build something stupid, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people say, I don't want to build something stupid that sounds bad. We're not going to let that happen. They're all going to sound different because they're special individual guitars, but we're going to make sure that it's when it's final, that it's really good.
And we've done some really custom stuff with very specific inlays of stuff that was brought to us by the customer, maybe had their name inlaid in the guitar, and it's been really fun. And those kind of adventurous builds are always my favorite ones.
Yeah.
But
and then let's talk about inlay a little bit more for a moment.
okay, yeah,
because
let's do that.
That's people have ideas,
Sure.
or they want to commemorate something. Robbie mentioned a very obvious one, commemorating an anniversary, a birthday, or a person, and you can do that with initials in different ways. But there's a lot of different materials you can use. And when I talk about the some of the more expensive custom, it's going to cost a little bit more to do inlay,
Sure.
but there are many materials that you can use, including different species of wood, reconstituted stone, and several other
Yeah, the
materials
stones.
that create dimension and artistic effect. So you may have a design that you want to do on a guitar. A good example is one that we built years ago that has a lion coming out of the sound hole.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's all inlaid wood and pearl and different materials. So don't be hesitant to come with an idea. It's got to be either your own artwork or something that's in the public domain. But come with those ideas, and there's not much that we've said no to. it has to fit within a Martin format.
I was just reflecting on the fact that of all the builds I've done, I've never had one. No, we won't build this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the custom shop is always really great with dealers like us with suggestions and guidance and stuff like that we usually take pretty close. But you can also do dormant models. You know, like
Yeah.
being a Willie Nelson fan. I was really exhilarated to find at a Martin event here. I didn't even commission it, but it was built in the custom shop. It was an N20, which is no longer, obviously it's no longer produced, but you know, that's something that you can get through the custom shop. And speaking of inlays, you could do pickguard inlays, which we've done. In fact, Eric, our production and film and management crew, is currently awaiting one of his own customs. It's just a great experience, and I just want to drive home that it doesn't cost you anything to explore it, to ask questions, to get a quote, to kind of figure out what it would be, and then, you know, even from that point on, we can make as many changes as you want to make before, you know, we throw any money on it or anything like that. So we can really work to make sure that you get exactly what you want, and we would love to help you do it. In the meantime, come down to the shop and visit the customs that we have, and throw some ideas out there. We'd love to work with you, and we'd love to get you into the Martin of your dreams. So no matter what it is,
a lot of fun.
Yeah, good times. Thanks again to Brenden, and stay tuned.
Thanks, Robbie.